Tell me your first memory.
Hey there. You on the table?
Severance Season 2 Episodes 1 to 4 recap. Deep dive into the mystery. Welcome back to the channel Movie Creepers. Today we will cover Severance Season 02, the mind-bending thriller that keeps us questioning the boundaries between work, identity, and personal freedom. Season 2 picks up right where we left off, diving even deeper into the unsettling world of Lumen Industries. As Mark and his team navigate a maze of corporate manipulation, disturbing revelations, and their fractured realities, the lines between their outie and innie selves continue to blur. From shocking betrayals to unexpected alliances, this season ramps up the tension and mystery to a whole new level. In this video, we'll be recapping episodes 1 through 4, breaking down the key moments, twists, and theories that are making us all rethink the true purpose of Severance. Let's dive in. Before we jump into the exploration, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on future videos. Thank you. Let's begin.
Please, they're my friends. You can't just make them disappear. Please.
Episode 1 recap. In the opening episode of Severance Season 2, we jump right back into the mind-bending world of Lumen Industries, where Mark finds himself waking up once again on the severed floor, disoriented and in a panic. Something's different. His wellness room, once overseen by Ms. Casey, has been decommissioned, and his whole team has been replaced. Enter Milchick, who is now running the severed floor, and introduces Mark to Ms. Huang, a new deputy manager who, rather shockingly, appears to be a child. It's been 5 months since the Macrodad uprising, an event that's shaken things up at Lumen, making Mark and his former team the faces of Severance reform. Milchick tells Mark that while his outie wanted him back at Lumen, the rest of the team, Dylan, Helly, and Irving, refused to return. In a bit of a sabotage move, Mark causes chaos to distract Milchick and attempts to get to the board, hoping to bring his colleagues back. The next time he wakes up, he finds himself reunited with the team. They're taken to a newly renovated break room, and Milchick offers the innies a chance. They can either leave permanently or stay. Mark fills them in on what he's learned from the outside world, but Helly, ever the enigma, lies about her outie's identity. Meanwhile, Irving is in emotional turmoil after learning that his outie, Bert, has moved on and found a partner. Dylan helps him stay, despite the temptation to leave. Milchick, showing Dylan blueprints for a family visitation suite, keeps the mystery of Lumen's darker secrets ever present. The episode ends with Mark receiving a file titled Cold Harbor, which is linked to none other than Ms. Casey, whose real name is Gemma. Episode 2 recap. The second episode takes us further into the drama. Milchick, having had to clean up the fallout from the overtime contingency, fires both Irving and Dylan, although Irving lies to Milchick about where he was that night. Meanwhile, Helena, the ambitious figure we've seen before, meets with Coble and offers her a promotion to the Severance Advisory Council for her loyalty. But Coble isn't satisfied. She demands her old job back. Helena, eager to smooth things over, films an apology video, claiming that her earlier outburst at the gala was due to a mix of medication and alcohol. Things take a darker turn for Mark. Milchick tries to get him to come back to work, but Mark decides to quit, much to the concern of his sister, Devon. She's afraid that Gemma might still be alive, and Mark's refusal to re-enter the labyrinthine world of Lumen only deepens the mystery. Dylan, on the other hand, tries to find another job, but his severed status makes it impossible. Discriminated against, he struggles, which only adds to the grim reality of the severance procedure. Irving, meanwhile, makes a cryptic phone call that seems to lead him somewhere shady, and Bert's watchful eyes are always on him. Coble's relationship with the board is tested as they insist Mark return to finish the Cold Harbor file, and Milchick offers him a substantial raise to get him back on track. In a pivotal moment, Mark encounters Coble while returning home. He demands answers about Gemma, but instead of a direct response, Coble drives off in anger, leaving Mark with even more questions than before.
Hey there. You on the table? I wonder if you'd mind taking a brief survey.
Episode 3 recap. Episode 3 gets even more complex. Mark, unwilling to give up on his search for Ms. Casey, starts printing missing persons posters to hand out on the severed floor. With Helly by his side, they venture to a mysterious part of the Lumen building they once stumbled upon, a department known as Mammalians Nurturable. This leads them to a strange goat pasture overseen by a woman named Lorne, who's less than welcoming at first. After some tension, Lorne reveals that Ms. Casey had been doing sessions in their husbandry tanks, a chilling piece of the puzzle that leaves more questions than answers. Irving, meanwhile, takes one of the missing posters to O&D, where he runs into Felicia. She points out that the sketch he had made of the dark hallway in his Audi's paintings resembles something from the Exports Hall, a place where past O&D employees would take the products they created. The pieces of this puzzle are starting to fit together, but just barely. Dylan gets a unique opportunity, a visitation with his Audi's wife, Gretchen, who shows him a picture of his children, which leaves him both touched and troubled. Natalie, ever the intellectual, approaches Rickon about adapting his book The UUR for Innies. But the real shocker comes when Koble agrees to rejoin Lumen on the condition that she's rehired as head of MDR. The board has other plans, though, as they suggest an impromptu meeting, which ends in Koble storming off again. In a more personal scene, Mark and Devin try an unorthodox method to communicate with Mark's innie by burning an afterimage onto his retinas. However, Rigabi interrupts and warns Mark that the strategy won't work. He suggests that reintegration is the only way to send messages in and out of Lumen. Rigabi's confirmation that Gemma is alive gives Mark the courage to proceed with the reintegration procedure. In the basement, Mark flashes between the present and an orientation room on the severed floor, his mind torn between two worlds. Episode 4 recap. Episode 4 takes a surprising twist. MDR finds themselves on a frozen lake where they're greeted by a pre-recorded message from Milchick. He instructs them to find a previously hidden fourth appendix to the Lumen Handbook, written by the company's mysterious founder, Keir Egan. The group follows the directions given by strange doppelgangers of themselves, leading them to a waterfall known as Woe's Hollow. Here, they meet up with Milchick and Ms. Huang, who have set up camp. Tension rises as Helly laughs at the appendix, causing Milchick to feel offended. This sets off a chain of arguments, with Irving confronting Helly about her suspicious behavior. In a dramatic moment, Helly retaliates by accusing Irving of being bitter and lonely after Bert's retirement, which leads to an emotional outburst. Mark and Helly share an intimate moment, and immediately after, Mark experiences a haunting hallucination, seeing Gemma's head superimposed onto Helly's body. The tension continues to escalate as Irving, feeling completely undone by the group's secrets and lies, confronts Helly. In a fit of rage, he drowns Helly in Woe's Hollow, demanding the truth. Helly, desperate to save herself, reveals a shocking twist. She's actually Helena Egan, the grandchild of Lumen's founder, and has been playing this role since her return to MDR. This truth forces Milchick to reverse her back into her innie self, Helly-R. In the aftermath, Milchick fires Irving and reverts him to his Audi, showing just how far the manipulation and control of Lumen reaches. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Stay tuned for more thrilling narratives and insights.
What is your first memory?
I don't know.